Hello everyone, welcome back to Rock Security, where you can learn how to protect yourself online and get insights into the cybersecurity world. If you're new here, my name is Roxana, and today I'm bringing you the last piece of news of this month. And we're finishing big with back to school cybersecurity. Let's get into it. Back to school is upon us, isn't it? I mean, I'm not going back to school, but I know a lot of people who are. And guess what? Hackers are eyeing students going back to school and returning to virtual classes. Isn't that fun? Fun. I mean, it's fun for them, not for anybody else. Many students across all countries are going back to school, from universities to actual schools, even though universities are schools, are going into the new academic year with a more combined and condensed curriculum. Some students will actually go physically back to school, and some students will still stay and be homeschooled and be on virtual classes, and some students will do a combination of the two of them. I think each individual university decides which one is best for them, and so on. For example, the Chief Privacy Officer and Chief Information Security Officer at Stanford University, Michael Duff, great name, is saying that we are seeing a dramatic increase in phishing emails. This is fully expecting. We knew it would happen with any major calamity. It's not surprising that these phishing attacks, especially because this is one of the greatest disruptions our country has ever seen, have been more successful maybe than in the past. And the article that I first found is kind of just talking about more and more, and the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency warned in May that the Chinese government-backed hackers were targeting US-based groups involved in creating COVID-19 vaccines and treatments. I've talked about it in my previous videos. It's just insane. The world is under fire, and guess what? Their computers are under fire too while they're at it. While the US, UK, and Canada accused Russian hackers of taking similar actions in July. I've also talked about those as well. And they kind of just talk about more incidents and so on. And on top of that, Do Levin, I'm sorry, I am not English, so I don't know how to pronounce your name. Sorry about that. Founder and president of consulting firm EdTech Strategies, told The Hill, which is the publication that I'm reading this article from, that he's quite worried about the next month in particular, as students are returning to campus and having to bounce back to remote learning or combined learning or so on. I think this is going to be introducing a lot of new risks, and I think unlike the spring, April, May, and so on, when this situation caught everyone off guard, I think we've seen enough evidence now that malicious actors understand these trends, and they are looking to take advantage of it and take advantage of schools. I'm starting to see evidence of a strong uptick in incidents, he also added. I'm not surprised that this is all happening again, and it's not just universities with young adults, it's also kids that are now using technology more and more because they have to do school from a particular form of technology. The other thing that I wanted to include in this video are a few tips to parents, because a lot of your kids will have some sort of device in their hand, because it's way easier and way more sanitary for schools to just hand out a tablet. Everything can be sent to that tablet digitally. And Tech Republic have put together this list of tips and rules when it comes to your kids' cybersecurity safety, mainly because they are young, they don't know what they're doing, and as much as we all know that the younger generation knows way more about technology than even I'm not that old, and sometimes I get younger people telling me things that I have no idea that they exist, and here we are, I feel old now. But that's absolutely fine. But it is what it is. That's the world that we live in right now, and and then we've been living, I know more about technology than my parents do, and that's absolutely fine. And on top of that, it's normal for the young generation to get on board with more and more advanced technology than we do, because we're boring sometimes and we're just kind of like, no, I can't do TikTok, because just the entire concept of installing another app on my phone is just out of my reach, and I just can't do it. I just feel too old for it. So this is my stand on TikTok, if you were wondering. But anyway, some of these tips include implementing rules when it comes to the particular ways we handle technology, like make sure we keep our passwords safe, make sure parents have a whole vision of how their kids handle the technology that they're put in front of. 1, 2, safety practices, and this includes teaching students and kids how to stay safe online and to have strong passwords and logging off from things when handing out devices or closing devices, and just building awareness around cybersecurity and around how important it is for our information to stay safe online. Another thing that they recommend is to start as young as possible. If you have a tiny kid, start educating them now how important it is for them to protect their data, to protect their privacy, to stay safe online. Find videos that talk about cybersecurity and find videos that talk about passwords and these type of things that have very, very good understanding of how kids perceive technology and how they interact with it and so on. I am not the type of channel, but I am sure there are some sort of information out there that can help you out how to educate them in a shape or form, and how to explain them what's cybersecurity and why is it so important for us to protect our privacy. And at the same time, reach out to your kids' school and reach out to the organizations that they're in, like clubs and so many other things that kids do nowadays. Again, out of my scope. Don't have kids yet, so again, out of my scope. Reach out to them and ask, how are your kids' information protected? Make sure you put that question, because the more of us put that question, the more awareness it gets brought into their institutions, and maybe it will spark somebody's mind at some point and just saying, there's so many parents who are asking about our privacy. How are we actually handling privacy? And they're actually gonna do something about it at some point. But it's better to start from somewhere. They're also considering to use refurbished tech because it's cheaper, it's safer, and you technically get a nicer piece of hardware and a nicer computer for less money. And that sort of piece of hardware, it's newer, it's safer. But also, regards to that, I wanna just put an information out there. Please make sure you buy those refurbished pieces of tech from very reputable places, because you want to make sure that that laptop or that phone or wherever you're buying is securely wiped and there's no data or there's no viruses or rootkits or whatever on it that can invade your data and actually breach the security of your device. So make sure you ask the question first of all, and make sure you go and buy things like this from a reputable place. It's the same thing as tech. Buy tech from reputable places. They can come with all sorts of things, and make sure you stay as protected as possible. And to end with, make sure you set parental controls. Now, this depends on the age of your children. If you have older children, it's on you. If you have younger children, you're probably, I'm assuming, you're gonna want to send some sort of parental controls on the devices that they're using, either phones or laptops or so on, that restrict the websites and the number of minutes that they can be on, or restrict their websites and what they can use on the internet and how they can use that device to be in alignment with the level of risk that you decide for them. I'm gonna put this list down below alongside the 2 articles that I'm kind of paraphrasing from. I just wanna bring another layer of awareness when it comes to back to school, and I know everybody's very stressed right now because nobody kind of understands how it's gonna happen. Believe me, I understand. But at the same time, as much as it's gonna be very confusing, and it's gonna be a very confusing start of the academic year, please keep in mind to stay safe online and take care of your devices and take care of your online data. Okay, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. This is it from me this week. You're gonna have another video next week. Like this video if you enjoyed my rant about back to school. I think it's very important for as many of us to be part of this conversation. So let me know down below what you think about it, and if you have any other questions when it comes to back to school information, don't be afraid to drop me a DM on Instagram. I have all my social links down below and up here. And very, 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 very important, especially when going back to school, stay safe, protect yourself and protect your devices, and I'll see you next week with a brand new video. Bye! Am I wearing the same t-shirt on all 3 videos? Yes. Am I too lazy to go change? Also yes. Do I care? No.